Frank Vincent, I farm hay and cattle.
I'm Chad Peterson. I farm hay and cattle.
I'm Smith. I run the coffee shop.
Why is it important that you're farming here? Why here? Because, I mean, you could do this anywhere with more.
Well, mainly because when we came up from the south, and it was either get off the bus in Millard or come here.
I came down here to be able to keep farming.
Why farm? Because farming's hard.
It's because it's in our blood. What do I love? It's probably the struggle, the day-to-day struggles, actually.
It was a good life. Just taught how to work and appreciate things. And he didn't waste anything.
It's a good life if you don't weaken.
And Spence is a real cowboy and a real good farmer. He takes a lot of pride in what he does, 100%. He does. And he doesn't weaken.
Bullheaded, hard-working man. And when he goes about getting something done, he's hard to slow down. Russ is a great guy. He's one of the nicest men I know, and a pleasure to buy a truck from, a car from, anything you want. Treat you. I think he's as straight up, honestest guy as you could ask for.
And he's still doing it every day.
Yeah.
I've never had a better teacher than Frank. When Frank first moved here, I would ride around with Frank, and people would be like, "Why are you riding around with that old guy?" And it's like, I'm riding around with him to hear what he has to say. I want to learn something. If your neighbor's crops are good, you probably ought to go ask him why their crops are good. So that's how me and Frank became friends, actually, is me asking him and wanting to know what he's doing.
My dad used to say, if you're doing something, you look across the fence and your neighbor's doing it better than you, get your ass across the fence and find out what he's doing. And he's like, Robbie McPherson taught me a lot. Spence taught me a lot. Russell taught me a lot. I came down here. This is a whole new world to me down here. A whole new world. I was a dairy farmer in Midway, Utah, and we do things a lot different up there than we did down here. And I tried to learn a lot from them guys, and they did. They was very open. They was very helpful. So I tried to be helpful to Chad just because they were so helpful to me.
Mountain View Dairy, which is a Nye family dairy. So I'm Maria, and my husband John and I moved here 26 years ago. And we came from the East Coast with our cows and our kids. And we grew from our original herd that we brought with us of 400 cows to our current milking size, which is 5,000 cows. And we also have a calf growing ranch and a hospital barn for our cows, and we have a grower who takes care of our growing heifers in a different county. So
What is it about here?
why here? People who look at where we came from and look at our beautiful desert, go, what were you thinking? It's so green, it's so pretty. And that is true. So when we made the decision to move, we wanted to go to a place that was ag friendly, family friendly, and very definitely affordable. It felt like home from the very beginning, and that is what Millard County is for us. It's definitely home.
We run just under 850 acres of
So
farmland.
we bought the farm from his family this last year. So we've tried to implement and try new things and add things to our business to benefit the community and to benefit our business. And so that's kind of what we've added. Pumpkin patch, and the one thing we added this year was the
farm camps that we had in June, first 2 weeks in June. We had farm camps and we hit on a variety of different topics. One day was insect day, and we had farm animal day, and grow a pizza gardening day.
We also have raised pheasants.
This will be our third year that we do our Fall Farm Fest that we run. We do our Fall Farm Fest in the month of October, on weekends, every weekend in October, and we do a few family nights on Mondays. I've lived here in Flowell for 15 years, and it's taken me 15 years to feel like it's home. So it's finally felt like home, and I've waited for that for years and years to have that feeling. It's the longest I've ever lived anywhere in my life, and now I never want to move.
So my family on both sides is, I think, 4 generations deep, and so Millard County is kind of home for both my parents, and the rest of us we like the community, and we like the involvement that we have throughout the community, I guess. And this land was actually my grandpa's, and so even where we farm and everything that we do here, it's just kind of been through generations. So our main crop right now in my life is pumpkins. We have about 35 acres of pumpkins, and then we have just a few acres of tomatoes, but we have around 11,000 plants. So that's those two are our main crops. So Jack and I are the main siblings in charge of the farm. Jack just got set apart on Monday, so he will not be here for the next 2 years, but him and I kind of run this while my dad's at work, and then he comes home after a full-time job and then stays out here till the sun goes down. So he's the mastermind behind it all, him and my mom, and then Sunny likes to come out and help too. I love to work, and I love that there's always something to do. Maybe sometimes that seems a little silly that you're always busy, but I like to keep busy, and I love the horses that we get to break and be involved with, and I really like when the community comes out because I'm a talker, and so I like to chat with people.
I'm Whit Sorensen. I have 4 kids and a wife, and we have a small purebred seed stock operation in Delphi, Utah. We raise mostly registered hams and a few Suffolk ham crossbred, with our main focus being marketing to commercial sheep producers to supply their ram needs for the year. We have a strong focus on producing a product that can be used in the commercial field. We really enjoyed Delta. It's been a good place to raise our family. We really enjoy the small town atmosphere. And it's also given us a good kind of a home base for operation. We're able to service most of our customers right out of Delta. A lot of times they'll need the bucks in Delta, so it's really easy logistically to handle the situation. And it's just the number one reason is it's a really good place to raise a family. We enjoy the small town atmosphere and enjoy being involved in agriculture. Well, in Utah, we're kind of unique where the federal government owns most of the land in the state. So farmers and ranchers are innovators, so they've kind of figured out a way to utilize some of the resources they have available to them. So for the most part, we have a lot of desert landscape, and sheep are probably the best source to utilize that resource. So it's been a really good fit for the West to raise sheep because they can turn them out on some of the rangeland that is basically useless for any other use except to graze sheep and lambs on. So it's given us the opportunity to, like I say, rather than look at it as a big hindrance, a lot of the sheep producers in the West have kind of taken advantage of that and worked through just kind of leasing grazing permits from the federal government to go out on it. And I really like that my whole family can be involved. One of the reasons we got into the sheep business was it took a lot less capital to get started to start with, but now moving forward, it's really nice that I can have my whole family out there, from my 2-year-old daughter to my 11-year-old son, and we can all have a integral part in the success of our operation. And by choosing to have sheep in the backyard, I tease all the time that I'm not raising sheep, I'm just trying to raise kids.